I think it's really important before you start meditating, or even trying to meditate, to learn how to sit. And when you learn how to sit properly, as I've been taught, particularly by Judith Lasater, you realize that you can use the strength of your bones rather than all of your muscles, and it makes it much, much more relaxing as you meditate. So, I meditate sitting on I meditate sitting on a block, and I like to have a blanket on top of that block. For some people that's too firm a surface, too much information. Have something softer if you need to. I like the blanket in front so that my ankles don't complain. Now, I'm lucky enough, when I sit cross-legged, I like my legs wide. My knees don't complain when they're in this position. But if they did, you could find an alternate cross-legged position with some blocks for support under the knees, or you can always sit in a chair. So if you need to, sit in a chair with your feet on the floor and sit to the front of the chair. I'll do a sitting session on a chair another time. Another alternative sitting position if you find your knees are in pain in a cross-legged position. So this external rotation and abduction hurts people often in their knees, either at the inside or the outside of their knees. If your knees hurt at the beginning, it's like buying shoes that are painful in the store. It's just going to get worse. You need the first 5 to 10 minutes of your meditation to be comfortable, or you haven't got a chance. So an alternative position is to sit on a couple of bolsters or to sit on a couple of blocks and a blanket in a virasana position, as long as it doesn't hurt your knees here. That also gives you freedom of movement for your pelvis. Okay, I'll show you the chair position as well. So it's important to find a chair that gives you a little bit of firmness, not something really ridiculously soft or angled too much in any way. And we don't want to sit on the chair using the back of the chair because we want the pelvis to be stacked on the sitting bones. So moving toward the front of your chair, have your feet on the floor with your knees above your feet. And what you want to find is that you have the ability to move your pelvis and rock on your sitting bones. So I can feel I need to move even further to the front of the chair to find that I can posteriorly tilt the pelvis, and then I can roll the pelvis into position, feeling the pubic bone drop down and moving myself into my neutral spine. So once you've found your ideal position where you feel like you have 3 points, the 2 sitting bones can count as 1 point, and then the ankles or pelvis. So whether that's feet on the floor or when you're sitting on a chair, sitting in virasana or sitting cross-legged. Once you've found that comfortable position and you've got freedom of movement of the pelvis, we're ready to sit. And the way that you're going to use testing the sitting position is by breathing. So the first one I want you to do is to slump. I want your belly to hang out. I want your organs to roll out onto your lap. And then in this position, have a little breath. And you'll find it almost feels like someone's sitting on you. So that's not going to work. Then we can have the first day of yoga teacher training when we're sitting up as tall as we can. And this really follows the instructions that our culture gives so many people about posture, is that posture is tummy in, shoulders back, chest forward, back straight. And so I'm using all of my muscles to bring myself into an upright position. Have a breath, and it feels very breathless, very like I'm already full and up. So what I want you to do is, instead of thinking of posture as something that you have to work at, I want you to think of posture as aligning your bones in their best line of gravity. So that's the most relaxing thing you can do. And you need the tiniest bit of muscular support. So we can roll the pelvis slightly back. It can help to even find your pubic bone, find your tailbone. Think of the pelvis like a heavy, round-bottomed flower pot. Make it heavy, let it sit on your cushion, and let it roll back. When you roll back, the tummy tightens, the hip flexors tighten, the back loses its natural curve. As you roll forward, don't use your back muscles, just grab the floor, the seat with your bottom of your pelvis, roll the pelvis forward, and you'll feel almost erected